Okay, a deck I have not shown yet is the Encounter deck. And this after, I think that this is probably my most favorite thing that I designed for this game. I loved writing these for you guys. And there's going to be, it's over 80 unique encounters for this. And each one has unique art for you. And I think it's like, I think there's 82 or 83 encounter cards. I know Kickstarter says 70, but I had to do some extra ones. But there's three different types. Oh, there's actually four. There's interlude cards. And interludes are kind of like, it throttles the encounter deck. And it's just, tells some kind of, there's some flavor text in a picture. But the main three are challenges, events, and encounters. And so we're going to show you a few now. I don't think you've seen a few of these. But again, that's the backing for them. And understand something about the encounter deck. Not all bad stuff is in the encounter deck. It's not like that. That there is actually a lot of good stuff in there, but of course some bad stuff. You're never going to know. And this deck changes game to game because you have to draw a certain amount. So you'll never see the same encounter deck when you play. So let's take a look at one here. This is an environment. An environment card always, stays in play until another environment comes to cancel this one out. But this one is, a blood red moon has risen over the dungeon. It is the night of the undead. When combating monsters with the undead racial trait, these monsters receive a +3 to all warfare values while this environment is in effect. And notice I put the racial symbol there. And Cameron Brown, I gave him my prototype stuff, and he did an amazing job creating the final art. So all of these, I just didn't want it to be like that, just text. It's really lame. I wanted to kind of get you, more immersed in the experience. So you would look for a monster card that has that, and to their warfare values, not damage, warfare values, you'd have to add +3 to that. So there's an environment card for you. Another one is, I loved these challenge cards. And you get to select a hero for these, which is cool. So select a hero. This hero has discovered 4 archaic coffins within a chamber and is about to open each one. Take 4 d6s. These represent the coffins. Roll 1 at a time and consult the chart below for what the hero finds within the coffins. 1 to 3, Scorpion bites the hero for 2 damage. 4 to 5, the hero finds 200 gold. 6, the coffin is empty. I love these challenges, and there's a lot of them I wrote in there for you. So there's one, and this is one I don't think I even showed. I think I let it peek, but this is a very cool one. As I said, you can find good stuff. This is case in point. This is an event. One of the heroes has discovered a chamber which seems to be a chapel-like area in ruins. Upon the east wall is a beautiful fountain with blue water cascading into the basin. The waters will heal a hero for 6 health plus the result of 1d6. Select one hero who will drink from this fountain. And again, that was a really awesome card, so thank you, Cameron. I really like that one. So that's a little bit for the encounter deck for you, and I hope you like those. The encounter phase is one of my most favorite parts of the game, and that's just because you just never know what will come out of this deck. And so now, what are we going to talk about is, I can show you these. These are the final card backings for the monster cards. There is, and again, I got to remember to keep this at a distance there. I think that's clear for you. There's the minions. Minions go from level 1 to level 3. The minions are, of course, these guys that go around the dungeon on the patrol route system. So there's the final card for that. Here is the final champion card. And again, they go from level 1 to 4. Some of my most most exciting monsters to fight because you never know what, and these lurk inside the chambers. So there's the champion, and of course the boss-like characters, the guardians, and these things are uber tough. So those are your backings for you. It's a lot of monsters in this game. If you want to see it, I think last count, there's different variations of like the champions and then the minions and all that, but there was 112 monsters last count. It's like the same monster, but as they level up, you can consider that a unique monster. So there's 112 monsters that are in Dungeon Crusade. And so I'm going to put that back. And then what other card backing do we're going to talk about loot cards. And then we're going to get into the Tomb of Kaladar. So let's do that. So, what should we do first? So here's the loot card. This is for the knight here. Sir Brennus Cadron. And this is starting weapon. Let me explain. There is, in Dungeon Crusade, there's the loot card, David Shear. In Dungeon Crusade, there is different levels of loot. Gray is starting, which we're going to look at here. Worn Longsword, +1 damage, +0. So this is a physical warfare weapon. So you can see you can add nothing to those rolls. T1, what that means is that's tier 1. You're going to notice there's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And real simple, if a hero's level 1, he can only wield a tier 1 weapon. He's only proficient with tier 1. He cannot wield a tier 2 or tier 3 until he obtains level 2 and 3. Real simple. These Annika, thank you. These are the icons for these. And so you'll see like armor, rings, charms. So it has a symbol there for you. And Sean, Ellis, and Kez, they did there's 193 pieces of loot, and they did an awesome job. So thank you guys. And Sean, we worked on this card backing. This was kind of like in spirit of my original prototype one, and I really like this design. So as I was saying, there's gray. As it goes up, gray, white, which is common, green is uncommon, blue is rare, purple is epic, orange is legendary, and then there's fabled gear, which is kind of gold, and that belonged to heroes in the story I wrote for Dungeon Crusade. I'm sorry, the characters. So your heroes can wield weapons that belong to the characters in the story of Dungeon Crusade. And those are really powerful, and those carry a big gold cost. And then lastly is the black level, underworld artifacts. And these are the most powerful weapons of the game, but they're the most deadly. And I'm going to do a whole segment on the underworld artifacts another time, because it's very cool with these weapons. You have to make a lot of choices. So anyway, this is going to be for the Paladin too, hero. This is his starting weapon. So when you start Dungeon Crusade, you're given just a crappy weapon and a hero card in your miniature. So you have to go out into the world of Avalon and build your hero up. So there is Sir Brennus' starting weapon. And here is the archer, Enwyn Shadowleaf is her card. And here she starts with a hunting bow. And there's some flavor text I wrote for all of the cards, like unique things. So she starts with a hunting bow. Again, 1 damage, +0. And I want to say something. Some people asked, why do you have a +1? And I'm going to be completely honest, I like seeing the plus there. That's honestly what it is, and I just like to keep that there. So, because a hero on their own, they can't do anything. Once they equip a weapon, they can do +1 damage, +2 damage, +3, so on and so forth. So, there you go, that's her starting weapon. And then moving on to Zeke Utar. All the names were created by backers. I offered that create a hero for a free thing, so you're going to see a lot of these in the video I have for you coming up. So there's his hero card, and his starting weapon is an oak staff. Again, +1 damage, +0. So these gray items are just, they're starting weapons. You're not going to get anything spectacular or any bonuses from these. So there's that. And Michael, there is your girl you kind of created, Palum Ganamar. And she starts with a dull stiletto. +1 damage, again, 0 to mythical warfare rolls. So there's that. And Kang, there's your hero, Faith. There's her hero card. Remember, this prototype stuff, made in-house. And then she starts with a disenchanted scepter, +1 damage, 0 to spiritual warfare rolls. So that's what that looks like. Finally, Maheliak, Stormblade, and Marcel worked on this hero. Thank you guys, you did it. I love that name. How fitting for a barbarian, right? Maheliak. And he starts with a unbalanced axe. That is his starting weapon. +1 damage, 0 to chaos warfare rolls. And understand this, when I wouldn't say this before, don't let the size of Dungeon Crusade, lead you to think this is a very complex game. Guys, I hate complex games. I mean, for some people they're good. I like easy stuff. So there's a lot of easy mechanics in this game. a lot of them. It's just the game is really huge. So I wanted to say that also. And now we're going to get into some of the loot in the village. You know, your heroes can go, or Albus, our fetch hound. I don't have his hero card out. That's what I forgot. But you can send Albus back to the village while your heroes are in the dungeon to bring back healing potions, torches, some, you know, gear from the blacksmith. So let's go over some of this. Here's some white gear for you. And notice this is going to start getting more powerful. You can see there's a whole, you saw there's an economy system in Dungeon Crusade, but there's this scepter is 200 gold and +1 damage. But notice on Spiritual Warfare now it has a +2, meaning you could add +2 to your Spiritual Warfare rolls. So real simple. And as we go up, you're going to see they get much more powerful. So there's a white item for you that's common. So in the green, put those up so you can see. Put it in the green here. There's Victory Shield. And as we're going up, and we see the helmet icon, that is telling you that's a piece of armor, 400 gold. And when you equip this, it'll give you a +2 to your physical warfare rolls. Okay, so there's Victory Shield. And then there is Band of Nightfall. See the rings that tells you this is a ring you could equip. And price is 500 gold. This is an interesting one because it'll give you +3 to your mythical warfare rolls, but then it'll give you +1 to your agility. So that's pretty cool. You get a few different bonuses with this. As I said, as these go up, you're going to see they get more powerful. And then this one, Axe of the Black Hand. This is a faction I created in the game called the Black Hand Army. This is 700 gold, tier 3. Notice your hero has to be level 3 to use this. And then that does 3 damage, and there's a +2. So you can add +2 to your mythical warfare rolls.